Behind the Scene with David Bedein, March 30th, 2020. The spread of the coronavirus from Israel into Gaza and other places in the Palestinian Authority. There is a continuing rant of discussions, of announcements, of pronouncements from the Palestinian Authority that Israel is exporting and spreading the virus into the Arab sector, into the Palestinian Authority in Gaza and in Judea, Samaria. It received some reinforcement today from a group called the Physicians for Human Rights, who claimed that Israel was stopping medical aid into Gaza. Apparently, it was parroted by Senator Bernard Sanders, who said the same thing. Apparently, he's listening to a group called Physicians for Human Rights and another group called Gisha, both of which are supported through the New Israel Fund. The actual story is that Qatar, the Arab nation of Qatar, and the Muslim nation of Turkey have both given tremendous amounts of money, acknowledged by the people in Gaza, acknowledged by medical services in Gaza, $150 million to deal with the coronavirus. However, that's not acknowledged by these human rights groups, which are saying that Israel is stopping the aid and spreading the virus. The spread of the virus is being done through the school system of the Palestinian Authority, the school system of Hamas, and the school system of UNRWA. This is going to reverberate with the idea that the Jews are responsible for the coronavirus, according to the memos we've been receiving through the Center for the Study of Terrorism, which is put out by a man named Dr. Lieutenant Colonel Reuven Ehrlich. You can see his material. It'll be on our website tonight, IsraelBehindTheNews.com. The $150 million from Qatar, which arrived to Gaza to handle the coronavirus, there is no report about how the money is being spent. The money comes in cash, and then who knows what happens with it. I was advised for many years by a man named Dr. Eli Lash, who was in charge of the medical services for Gaza from the Israel Civil Administration, would always point out about his reports always pointed out the disappearance of medical funds for medical services in Gaza, and how this affected the people there. We don't know what happens to the money. The money, it can be guessed. The money goes into the black market of Gaza, into the black economy promoted by the governing authorities over there. Now, what's very important to understand is that blaming the Jewish communities in Judea, Samaria, and Gaza is for spreading the virus is going to have an international effect, because the concept of blaming Jews for plagues, for viruses, for illness, this is something which is continuing to happen always in Jewish history. Now, what we have here is I'm looking for a statement here. Yes, the incubator, the workers who come from Gaza and Judea, Samaria to work in Israel, instead of showing some appreciation for the fact that they're given the opportunity to have work and to make a living and to bring money home to their homes in Judea, Samaria, and Gaza, instead the Palestinian Authority has issued a statement that they are, quote, incubators of the spread of the new virus. This is from an official statement from the Palestinian Authority, which is the agency that has been, for the last 27 years, been running the operations in Judea, Samaria, and even Gaza, even though Gaza is more or less under Hamas control, but that's in coordination with the PA and with Israel and with all 67 donor nations. And perhaps this will give us the opportunity to take a look at what happens to money for humanitarian services that often doesn't get to a source. Our agency put a note to send a memorandum to the Physicians for Human Rights, asking if they are not aware of the pattern of pilfering of medical supplies, medical services, medical medications in all of the services, all the humanitarian services that are provided in Gaza. Are they not aware of the fact that the reports that come out from Gazan sources talk about the corruption of aid to Gaza? Very, very important that these issues be raised. And in terms of how things are going in Israel right now, we've now it's 20 people now who have died in Israel so far from the coronavirus. And what's very important to know is that as of today, we're heading towards almost a full shutdown in Israel of the country, in a sense. We don't have many more options other than to cut off people in Israel from the sources of contact between people, and that's what's happening right now is the government of Israel putting its foot down and saying no more contact between people. There has to be a shutdown. There has to be a closure more or less of the Israeli economy. So that's where it's at right now. We'll see what happens in the near future. The roads are closed. The roads are not closed. The roads are empty, and just about every city has police standing aside, and anyone caught with any walking with people more than 10 people anywhere can be arrested. And two of our friends were arrested yesterday when they were standing outside of a supermarket, even though you're allowed to go into the supermarket to buy essentials. Well, they were outside the supermarket, therefore they were arrested. I assume that they will appeal that decision to give them a fine. So that's part of what's going on here. As things progress during the week, we will give you more reports. I encourage you to read the documented reports on the IsraelBehindTheNews.com, which present a number of stories of how things are actually going on in the Palestinian Authority, so that people will know and not listen to the propaganda. One of the aspects of propaganda used against Israel, it's as if Israel has isolated and put Gaza under a siege. Well, there is a very serious medical, shall we say, naval restrictions on the people of Gaza because Gaza is in a state of war with Israel. But there are three openings, three land routes open to Gaza, and business continues, imports continue, exports continue, business in many sense as usual, despite everything else that we've said in this report. This is David Bedein reporting. Behind the scene with David Bedein at IsraelBehindTheNews.com. Thank you.